Whenever musicians, whether devout amateurs or seasoned professionals, talk about meter or a time signature in music, the one that they usually toss off most glibly is 4/4, which is to say 4 beats in a bar and a quarter note gets 1 beat. The reason I bring this up at the outset of this discussion about the Seattle Philharmonic's 2024-25 season is that something kind of fun happened as I was tightening the screws on putting all the concerts together, and that's that every one of our 4 subscription concerts has a piece on it which is designated number 4 something or other. So we have 4 concerts, each boasting a number 4. So this is our 4/4 season. Makes the marketing people very happy. Our first concert is going to be kind of all over the map. The first half is going to be devoted to 2 women composers whose works should be much better known. The first is Maria Antonia Walpurgis. She was born in the beginning of the 18th century, lived until the end of the 18th century. So she was born when Bach and Vivaldi were still alive, died when Mozart was already living. And you can really tell that. Her music is a wonderful combination of Baroque clarity and classical elegance, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's the overture to her opera, The Triumph of Fidelity. We're then going to continue with another of our major United States premieres, the Sinfonietta by Kristina Wassilaskaite. And this work absolutely captivated me the first time that I heard it. It's a big 3-movement symphony, and the materials run the gamut from festive, countryish effusions to very, very intimate, lyrical romanticism. Just to give you a couple of little previews, the first movement is centered on a theme which is very rustic, and if I play it without any accompaniment, it comes out. But it's surrounded by a fifth in the bass, and the strings are also playing fifths that are convenient to their strings, so you get. Rather like a Lithuanian hoedown. I hope that's a respectful thing to say. Whereas the second movement is big and, as I said, very romantic. The themes are suddenly not as constricted. You know, the first movement theme is all made up of little intervals, whereas the main theme of the second movement is this big lyrical. And it's accompanied by these rich, almost jazz-like, thick, beautiful harmonies. So that's a little preview of what you're going to have in this wonderful US premiere. Following intermission, I'm just going to say we have a very special Halloween surprise that you're not going to want to miss. And then getting back to the printed program, we're going to turn to the world of opera twice, an overture by Giuseppe Verdi to his second opera, Un giorno di regno, King for a Day, the opera that almost stopped his career in its tracks. It had a disastrous premiere. He vowed never to write again, eventually was coaxed back into the operatic arena with Nabucco, and didn't write another comedy, King for a Day being a comedy, until his very last opera, Falstaff. So this is a chance to hear very young Verdi finding himself, but still very much his own man. We're then going to do the 4th symphonic poem by Franz Liszt, Orpheus, just about the most sensuous thing he ever wrote. And we're going to go from that sensuousness into an all-out orgy, the Bacchanal from Saint-Saëns' opera Samson and Delilah. This piece used to appear on concerts and on recordings so often whenever they would do an album of great dances from operas or great symphonic dances. This thing was invariably on it. I grew up with an old recording with Felix Slatkin, father of Leonard, conducting the Hollywood Bowl Symphony Orchestra. It starts with an absolutely sinuous, sexy oboe solo. And when things get going, the winds introduce this very perky little theme. But the part that everybody remembers most, whether you're a concert aficionado or a lover of Bugs Bunny cartoons, is how's that for exoticism? So that's a preview of Concert 1. Concert 2, which is going to be in January, is going to finally bring back our most treasured plan from the 2021-22 season that had to be dashed due to COVID. We're finally going to give you this. Need I say more? Carl Orff's Carmina Burana, the first time I've ever had a chance to conduct it. I'm very excited. The first half of the concert is going to feature Mark Robbins, dear old friend, longtime horn section member of the Seattle Symphony, playing Mozart's Fourth Horn Concerto, a work by a superb Ukrainian composer, Victoria Polyeva, a symphonic poem entitled Null, and heading the concert, the Fanfare for Freedom by the great American Morton Gould. Concert 3, looking ahead, is going to feature the United States premiere of a suite for orchestra by Rosa Garcia Ascot. We're going to have the first Paganini violin concerto with Tokuji Miyasaka, the winner of last year's Don Bichelle competition. And we're going to close with the Fourth Symphony of Robert Schumann, endlessly fascinating piece where he was just starting to do things with symphonic form that would carry over into other romantic and modern composers. And we're going to end the season with an Australian first half, Green Bushes, a folk song setting by Percy Granger, the United States premiere of The Emperor and the Nightingale, telling of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale for narrator and orchestra with Sidney Maltese as our narrator. And after intermission, we're going to end our season in bold fashion with Brahms's Symphony No. 4. I'll be back to tell you more about Concerts 2, 3, and 4 as they approach. For now, please join us on October 26th at Benaroya Hall for Concert 1 and the kickoff of a season of great music and great explorations.